So you probably got the little message, hopefully, it says it's recording. The other thing I'd like to ask you to do is, there we go. The other thing I'd like to ask you to do just for about the first 20-25 minutes is to mute yourselves. Just because I am going to present a little something to you, and then I promise we can all unmute and we can schmooze, which is what the title of this is. This is how to increase your membership this fall. Don't let them leave. Ha ha ha. And what I'm going to do is something a little different than I've done in the past. And so I'm going to go ahead and start my slides here. In the past, I have taken membership from, if you've seen some of my other membership presentations, I've taken membership from a member point of view. That is, I've looked at who your sisterhood members are. Oh, there we go. Took a little bit to load there. I hope everybody is seeing it. Hopefully that is working. Make sure I can see you ladies. Okay. And tonight I'm actually not going to take this from a membership point of view. I'm actually going to take it from a non-member point of view. That is, I'm going to talk to you about those hard to get ladies who don't ever join. Maybe they've been in the synagogue for a long time, but they've never joined your sisterhood, or those ladies who don't rejoin your sisterhood. So we're going to talk about non-members tonight. If you want to see more about, and we can talk about membership too, and those, if you have any membership questions about current membership. But if you also want more information on those kinds of topics, there are a host of membership presentations that are available on our YouTube channel, and also by joining Yammer and going to our district group or the membership group and looking at the files. The presentations are there as well. I've listed it here on this slide. I also have listed it in the chat for you. And I'll list it again at the end too. But if you want any kind of other information on membership, I have done a host of other kinds of presentations, and you are welcome to look at those as well. But as I said, tonight we are going to focus on sisterhood non-members, the people who play hard to get with us and who have not joined our sisterhood community. And what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to describe 7 types of non-members. There were probably more than just these 7 types, but these are the 7 types that I came up with that I think are the ones you hear about the most. And after I describe these types of 7 types of non-members, I'm going to describe for you how you might encourage each of these non-member types to join your sisterhood. So let's talk about the different types of non-members. So the first type of non-member is the "what is a sisterhood anyway" non-member. This type of non-member does not know what a sisterhood is. They may not know what WRJ is and what sisterhood and WRJ do. This type of non-member just simply lacks the knowledge about who you are and what you do. So that is one type of non-member. They don't know you. Another type is "that's for my grandma" non-member. This non-member has developed the perception that sisterhood is only for the more elderly, or as my dermatologist likes to say, chronologically superior women. These types of non-members may feel that they just don't belong at their age or stage in life. This also could be a lack of knowledge, like the "what is a sisterhood anyway" person, but it also could be based on what they're seeing in your photos and your marketing and who's at your activities. Another type of non-member, "my schedule is crazy busy" non-member. And yes, I said that fast on purpose because these non-members are just really busy women. They're busy with other activities, work, family, partner, other volunteer activities, and they just don't know how they would fit sisterhood into their busy lives. Then there's the "no one ever asked me" non-member. No one ever asked this non-member to join. Maybe they've received your membership flyer in the mail and packet, but that's it. They don't know anything. No one's ever specifically asked them to become a member. They're kind of waiting for the ask. We're getting into a little bit more tough, bumpy road of non-members, so hold on to your seats. This is the "I am an island" or "I don't click" member. And yes, I spelled click like that on purpose. I know that's not how you spell that kind of click. But this non-member may have tried sisterhood and perceived it to be very clique-like. They may have attended something and felt like no one spoke to them, no one invited them in, no one joined them. They felt alone and they didn't like that feeling, so they don't want to become a member of sisterhood. Then There's the, if I wanted drama, I'd rent a movie non-member. This non-member may have attended a meeting or been on a committee or attended an event and folks argued with each other. They may not want to be a part of Fight Club when they can join something else without drama. And the last non-member I'm going to talk about tonight is the Zelda said something rude to me 10 years ago at the Sisterhood Buffet, and I'm never, ever coming back. This non-member may have gone to an event years ago and someone did or said something they perceived as rude. Now they've declared, sometimes publicly, that they will never rejoin or join your sisterhood ever. So now that we've talked about who they are, let's talk about the ways you might encourage each of these members, or non-members, I should say, to become members. First, the what is a sisterhood anyway non-member. Now this non-member, remember, just doesn't have the information. They don't know what sisterhood is. They don't know what you do. So the first question you have to ask yourself is, are you marketing your sisterhood? And if you are, how are you marketing your sisterhood? I'm not just talking about a membership flyer. Can everybody hear me? It says my internet connection is unstable. Everybody good? Okay. That happens sometimes. I'm talking about letting the synagogue, your community, your world know who you are and what you've accomplished. The best way to recruit sisterhood members who lack knowledge as to who you are is to give them that knowledge. Do they know what WRJ does and that you're even affiliated with WRJ? It may seem simple, but sometimes it's just giving them the information so that they know what you are, because once they know who you are and what you do, they're much more likely to join, because sisterhood is amazing, WRJ is amazing. You need to toot your own horn. Remind your synagogue, your community of the work your sisterhood does. They aren't going to do it for you. You have to give them a list of all the things that sisterhood has done for the synagogue, the religious school, the preschool. What if sisterhood volunteers hadn't shown up? Who would have done the work? You need to remind them. You also need to write out scripts and hand them to the temple president, to the rabbi, to announce at services or events like the High Holy Day services. When they're going to advertise, they can also advertise, publicize sisterhood. Advertise in the temple bulletin, or if there is no temple bulletin, make your own newsletter for your sisterhood and send it out. Advertise online through a website, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Get the word out there as to what your sisterhood does. You can even market through your membership form. I wouldn't do this as your only way of marketing, but you definitely, with your membership form, should include information on the kinds of social action projects, successes that you've had. Do a report card of the wonderful things you've done. Include a personal message to the non-members that you want to have join, like, we are here for you. Your sister community is here for you. We want to connect with you. We want to hear your voice. We welcome you. Those kind of personal connections on your advertising can really help people feel warm and welcomed as well. Another way to help the What is a Sisterhood Anyway non-member become a part of your sister community is to talk with them personally. Every single person in your sisterhood is an ambassador for your sisterhood, and they can recruit by being welcoming, by texting, by telephoning, by getting together with non-members for coffee. Everyone can spread the word about your sisterhood and what you do. Do you all have your elevator speech? Do all your members have their elevator speech? Can all your sisterhood members, that is, describe your sisterhood's mission statement and why they joined personally in just a few sentences? The key with the What is a Sisterhood Anyway non-member is to give them the knowledge. Something that chronologically superior grandma could have told you. Okay, speaking of that person, what about the that's for my grandma non-member? Those that have the perception that sisterhood is only for the chronologically superior and that they just don't belong at their age and stage of life. Well, first of all, everything we just said for the What is a Sisterhood Anyway non-member works for these ladies also. Sometimes they just need knowledge of who you are and what you do. They have to get to know you. Remind them who you are in your marketing. Try your best to show a range of ages and stages of life in your photos online. Also, pair your younger women with mentors who are closer to their ages and stages. Also, along with that, invite their children along to some events. There's something I think magical about multi-generational events where these ladies can actually see the advantages of hanging with chronologically superior women. Another thing, try and mix up the roles that your sisterhood takes on at different synagogue and community events. I know that being in the kitchen is an awesome experience for team building and personal connection. It's really heartwarming to meet people and work with them in a kitchen. The problem is when your sisterhood is only in the kitchen, then you're not being seen by the community. So try being at the checkout table, running the games, running the activities, greeting folks during high holy days, volunteer to be the greeters and hand out prayer books. By being out there and being seen, they're going to see that you're visibly there and that you're active and that there's a lot of you of different ages and stages. I think it's important for the That's for Grandma types of non-members to see two things. One, that sisterhood is not just for grandma. And two, that grandma is pretty freaking cool to hang with anyway. So I think that the important points with these, or the keys for That's for Grandma, are to have visibility at your synagogue and your community and show variety in your marketing. Okay, what about the I'm just crazy busy, my schedule's crazy busy non-member? And some of you may recognize this from another membership talk I did, because I use this for my younger women. It said, I'm just a younger woman standing in front of, no, I'm just a membership chair standing in front of a younger woman asking you to join us. Because a lot of our busy women are younger women. A lot of them are the women who have young children, are working, not all. A lot of us have busy schedules as well. So I think the first thing we have to do with these crazy busy women is we have to change our mindset a little bit about what makes a good sisterhood member. Some of our sisters are going to have real limits as to how much they can contribute and how they can contribute and whether they're willing to put in any effort. And that's going to have to be okay. Expecting or demanding everyone to contribute in exactly the same way creates a level of pressure that's exhausting and unsustainable. So instead, it's really important to provide flexible opportunities to be a part of your sisterhood community. So here's something a little controversial. What if we let these really busy non-members just join financially without any expectation that they would be active? Couldn't we still use their dues to support our synagogues, our community, our sisterhood activities? Is your sisterhood willing to accept women without their being active? Why not let these non-members know what you'll do with their money? Just like what we would do with the What's a Sisterhood Anyway non-member. Tell them what you're going to do with their money. Let them know you'll put their funds to good use. No time? That's okay. Whatever you can do to support our sisterhood, we appreciate. Now, maybe they want to volunteer, but they just don't have the time. Let them know that any time they give is valuable to you and appreciated. They only have 10 minutes. Okay. If they have to come late to a committee meeting or leave early, okay. We understand, we're flexible, we're okay with you. Thank these volunteers no matter how much time they give you. It's the effort, not the amount of time that's important. Give them short tasks to do. Maybe just ask them to drop off a goodie bag on their way home or stuff mailers from their home or make a few phone calls. Give them more time to complete tasks. If someone says to you, September's crazy for me, no problem. We don't need this till November. Giving them that extra time makes them feel like they can help, but they're not pressured. So my schedule is crazy busy non-member. The key with these ladies is flexibility. Blessed are the flexible, for they shall not get bent out of shape. Now, the next type of non-member is the no one ever asked me. And this one may sound silly, right? No one just ever asked them. But some people really don't join or rejoin if they're not asked. So one of the things that's really important with these ladies is to make a personal connection. And this actually goes for your sisters that are already in your sisterhood as well, along with those who have become part of your community. So make sure you're getting together with these ladies. Call them, invite them to small coffees or get-togethers, follow up with them after you meet with them to tell them how much you enjoyed meeting with them and tell them about your next sisterhood event. Do this as well if they don't show up and you were expecting them to something, a Zoom call or something. Make sure you know we missed you. We appreciate you. We hope you can come the next time. People also like to feel like they have met a kindred spirit and they want to see people again when they find commonalities. It's that meeting that person on the airplane kind of phenomenon where you start talking and you have so many things in common. So maybe you'll find someone with the same breed of dog that you have, or lived in the same area as a child as you did, or loves vanilla candles as much as you did. I said, I have 2 kitties, like caramel, and we used to live next to Disneyland. So those are things that when you meet somebody and you have those connections, I know this is going to sound silly, but as membership folk and presidents, write down those things so that you can talk about those things as future talking points with these people. Those connections are really important. They not only make the person you're talking with feel awesome, but they'll make you feel awesome too, because you're getting to know somebody with those commonalities. And that's a really good way to start asking somebody to join you. You know, I'd love to talk to you more about, you know, how you're doing with your new beagle, because I have a beagle and we're having training problems. Whatever it is, that's a great in with somebody to talk more about them having and asking them to come along. You also can ask people by doing drop-offs and drive-bys. You can drop off a little bag of microwave popcorn that says, popping by to say how much we'd love you to attend the blank event, membership event, or social action project. You can drop off a little plant and say, with you, we blossom. We hope you'll come join our community. You can do personalized notepads and pencils from your sisterhood, but it's just really sweet to drop off something unexpectedly just to let people know you'd love to have them join you. So I think the key with the no one ever asked me is obvious. You need to ask, and then you need to personally connect with them. Okay, let's get to, oh, those are just 2 little cute cats I found. I just thought they were so cute. They're not my kittens. My kittens are cuter, but those are cute cats. Okay, I am an island, or I don't click, spelled wrong on purpose. Remember, this is the non-member who tried sisterhood and perceived it to be click-like. They felt like no one spoke to them, no one joined them, they felt alone, and they didn't like the feeling. So we have to start with why people do join organizations like sisterhood here. And repeatedly, it's been found that the main reasons are social and emotional. People join sisterhoods and organizations like that because they want to feel empowered with other women. They want to feel valued, respected, appreciated. They want to make long-lasting friendships. So imagine if you go somewhere and no one talks to you, and you've gone there mostly for social and emotional reasons. That's why these women may not join or rejoin. So if you want them to join or rejoin, please make sure that you assign someone to welcome them, to sit with them, and most importantly, to listen to them. What do these I Am an Island women want from your sisterhood? Listening to them is going to give you important insights. What's in their bubble? What's important to them? Be active listeners so they feel heard and seen. This is going to strengthen relationships and build trust with you and your hopefully new members. Be empathetic, be non-judgmental, echo back what they say, ask clarifying questions. It's really important that you have somebody there for them, a mentor, somebody, maybe you pick somebody who you think that they know or might get along with, somebody who's just a really welcoming person, who's going to tell them some of the stuff that's going on during the meeting or activity and fill them in. Also, mix up your seating arrangements. Zelda and Bertha are not going to fall apart if they have to sit separately for one event. So try and seat the newer and shyer women with more welcoming members and mix it up. Also, try and avoid inside jokes as much as possible. There's nothing like being the only one in the room when folks come in, and someone tells a joke and you're like the only one in the room who's not laughing. You feel like an outsider. And my dad, I have to tell you the story. My dad once texted my daughter after she said something that she had done that she was very proud of. He texted her, "I'm proud of you, LOL." And my daughter Jenny was like, "Oh." That's because my dad thought LOL meant lots of love, not laugh out loud. So it's important for people to know the codes, the lingo. It really helps a newbie feel welcomed and valued if they know the information. If you have certain things that you talk about, have somebody there who can either interpret what the codes are or give them a list, a dictionary. WRJ has this wonderful sheet where they have codes for the different kinds of acronyms and things that we use, like the Yes Fund. So I think it's really important that you help the newbies know what the lingo is so they don't feel like an outsider. And this is true on Zoom too. You don't want to go in to Zoom and not be greeted. It's really nice to be greeted. And for those of you I didn't get a chance to greet who came in late, welcome. Nice to have you. Even if you can't greet everybody individually on Zoom, make sure you greet everybody as a whole, just so that people know that you're happy to see them and make them feel welcome. So with the I am an island or I don't click non-member, welcome them and use active listening to find out what's in their bubble. Okay, getting to some of the toughies. You can see these women are having some drama here. If I wanted drama, I'd rent a movie. Imagine going into a sisterhood event and people are arguing with each other and not being nice to each other. A key component of any membership plan is going to have to be your sisterhood's attitude. You don't want to have new people come into, no one wants to help me, younger women aren't interested, Zelda and Bertha don't like me. I mean, would you want to be with this organization of women? I certainly would. People need to see and feel enthusiasm and fun. So you are going to have to be the leader in infecting your sisterhood with positivity. You can do this by sharing successful social justice experiences. You can share fun events and stories online, in email, by phone, by text. If you are positive, I guarantee you other women will start to follow your positive lead. Now, you may have a negative Nelly or two. I'm sure most of you don't have any sisters that are negative, but let's say you have a negative Nelly or two. Try and speak with them privately about how we're really trying to promote positive attitudes in our sisterhood, and you need their help. Would you help the other ladies be more positive? You don't have to tell them that you're telling them this because they're the problem. You tell them this because you want their help to help the other ladies be more positive. Also, ask your sisters to keep private battles with other sisters private. If they can't work it out, they need to go talk to the president of the sisterhood. If they still can't work it out, maybe they can talk to your clergy. But gossiping and spreading around the sisterhood is not going to be good for the two of them, and it's not going to be good for your sisterhood either. Try your best to spread positivity by stating things like, I'm honored, I'm blessed, it brings me joy, instead of, we've always done it this way, that won't work, or we can't do that. Those kinds of positive statements like blessed and joyful are going to be positive examples for your sisterhood. So the key to the if I wanted drama, I'd rent a movie is spread positivity. Whee! And finally, Zelda said something to me 10 years ago in the Sisterhood buffet line, and I'm never, ever coming back. Okay, this non-member went to an event, could have been years ago, could have been more recently, and somebody said or did something that they perceived as rude, and they've now declared, and sometimes maybe publicly declared, that they're never going to join your sisterhood. Now, if it's been a long time since the incident, you can try to make a personal connection with this non-member. Maybe you want to invite her to coffee, just the two of you, and listen empathetically to her story. Try to put yourself in her shoes and understand why she may be uncomfortable coming back, especially if Zelda's still in the sisterhood. Then remind her, especially if it happened a long time ago, that sisterhoods change over time. They change when different boards come in. They change when different members come in. They change at different activities. Even people who might have been rude might have had a reason. Maybe they were fighting their own battle that night. Maybe there's someone that she knows and loves from your sisterhood who might be better to connect with her than you. Invite that person to help you. My rule of thumb with these kinds of non-members is to try 3 times, right? Try 3 times, make an effort 3 times to get them back in the fold or to get them to join sisterhood. Try yourself, try by having somebody who's an ally who might know them better. Try maybe Zelda needs to talk to them if they're willing to talk to Zelda. Maybe not, but try 3 times. Now here comes my most controversial statement of the night. I always try to make at least one of these during each of my chats. If you've tried with the Zelda, said something rude to me 10 years ago in the Sister Buffet line, and I'm never ever coming back non-member, and you've tried 3 times, and they're still talking poorly about sisterhood, or they're saying they'll never come back, then you have to move on. Yes, that's right. Every once in a while, you're going to come across someone that you can't stop from leafing. And maybe you don't want to stop them. Toxicity can seep into your sisterhood, unfortunately. I learned a hard lesson a long time ago when I was sisterhood president. I tried and tried with someone who yelled at me, who took up a lot of my sister's time and my time at meetings and events, who felt like the world was out to get her. I went to my clergy at the time in tears. And I said to her, I feel like sisterhood should be for every sister. How do I get this woman to rejoin us? And the clergy person reminded me that sisterhood also had to be for me. I am one of the volunteer sisters. You are one of the volunteer sisters. You can only do what you can do. If you or your sisters have tried 3 times and to no avail, you have my permission to move on. Maybe after some time passes, you can try again and they'll come around. Or maybe it's just not meant to be. Focus your time and your attention on your current members and those non-members with whom you have a shot. Don't neglect those you can support and be with for the one that got away. An occasional leaf is meant to fall. So for the Zelda said something rude to me 10 years ago in the Sisterhood Buffet line, and I'm never, ever coming back, the keys are empathy, effort, try at least 3 times, and then sometimes you have to say enough. Okay, and with that, I would like to stop sharing and open it up to any and all questions that you might have. So I'm going to stop sharing so I can see y'all. And you are welcome to unmute yourselves, please. And if there is another type of non-member that you have experienced that I did not mention, I tried to cover the ones I think are the ones we oftentimes have that we come across. But if there's somebody else too that you've come across, you need help trying to get back into the fold, let's talk about that too. Does anybody have any questions or any comments?
I really liked your idea of writing some stuff down, because I will talk with people and then I go back to them and oh wait, was that who, I can't remember it. And I don't know, it seems like such an obvious thing, but it, something I really hadn't thought of. So thank you.
I got it from a very strange place. I got it from a not great person at doing it. I got it from Michael Scott on The Office. He would have a Rolodex, but on his Rolodex, he would write down the things he didn't not want to say. Like the things like I can't say this about his partner, or I can't say this about his son, or whatever. But he was really good at sales because he also knew, hey, how's your daughter doing with JV soccer? And that really, his client was like, oh, you remembered that. So I thought, that's brilliant. And then I realized I really love it when I find a commonality with people. That's how I make friends with people, right? When you find you have commonalities, why not use that in membership too? Why not use that to connect with people? I used to go to coffee all the time with my friend Bonnie. She loved chocolate and I love caramel. And so we would buy each other stiff drinks, as we call them. They were our Starbucks caramel macchiatos and mochas. And we had that connection that we both love Starbucks. We may have liked different flavors, but we both had a really bad thing for Starbucks. So we would do that together. That's how you make connections with people. That's what started our friendship, was going to coffee and having, sometimes we would go to Mimi's and buy Starbucks, and Mimi's would look at us kind of funny because we'd bring in our Starbucks. Those are the ways that you make connections with people. Why not do that with trying to get members as well?
I think
Rhonda?
someone had their hand up. There was a hand up.
Rhonda?
Yeah, thanks, Stacy. Can you talk a little bit about Pacific District and WRJ statistics based on women in a congregation compared to what average sisterhood membership is? Because I always like to approach it that every member of a temple should be a sisterhood member of some level of involvement, but I know that's not realistic, and it's often helpful to hear what other sisterhood stats are.
So I don't know for all sisterhoods. I can tell you that our sisterhood, when I was in Orange County, did that work. And we came that across, we kept coming consistently. We did it over 3 years, that 35 to 39% of our sisterhood, of our congregation was in our sisterhood. I don't know the answer to that directly. I would probably have to ask, maybe I could see if Judy Wexler might know, or Heather Lorgery at WRJ, if they know the percentage of people, the number of people in each synagogue. Our area directors might know for their sisterhoods as well, because they oftentimes will ask how many people are in your congregation and how many people are in your sisterhood. And that's a good indication. You're still going to have some single men though in there, and you're going to have, you know, some that wouldn't participate. So I honestly don't know the answer to that question, but I think it's a really good question, and I can find out the answer or more of an answer for you. I can just tell you from our sister. I don't know if anybody else knows any more about that. But I will find that out, Rhonda. I think that's a good question. I think what you're trying to say, and tell me if I'm wrong, is that you may not be able to get every single person to join your sisterhood. Although there are some synagogues where sisterhood membership is a part of synagogue membership, where it's automatic. And I know that sisterhoods have debated that for many years, right? Whether or not you want to automatically have them join sisterhood, are they going to be as invested, or if you want to keep it separate? Keep it separate.
So I just a few questions and thoughts. Is the membership fees, are they across the board, or is it different from sisterhood to sisterhood?
It is different from sisterhood to sisterhood. There is a range. I've seen everywhere from 36 to I've seen 48, 54. Some sisterhoods have different levels. Some sisterhoods have levels, higher levels. They may have a main level, like a 48 level or a 54 level, and then they may ask if you want to contribute more, a diamond or a gold. Our sisterhood, my current sisterhood calls them Rachel and Miriam and Leah levels. Each sisterhood does it differently. It's not consistent across the board. If you join Yammer and you go on the membership group, there is a whole section where people discuss membership dues and what level is good and what level seems to be working for people, especially since $18 of whatever you are paying will be for your WRJ dues. And that is consistent across the board, with one exception, and that is new sisterhoods. New sisterhoods oftentimes are given breaks where they only have to pay half price the first year.
Okay.
But other than that, is very consistent that you have to pay $18. So something to think about when you're pricing your dues is what else do you want to do? Do you have a budget? That's really important. Do you have a budget? And what else is in your budget that you're going to want to do? I really encourage every single sisterhood to have a budget. I also encourage you to look at what else you want to do with your dues besides paying your WRJ dues, because if you're going to have lots of events where you want to have them for free for your members, you need to value your sisterhood appropriately. And that's something, by the way, just on a side note, I know I'm answering probably more than you wanted, Efrat, but when I was a Girl Scout leader, Girl Scouts was only like $12 a pop. Boy Scouts was a lot more, and they finally raised it. And I thought that was a good idea, because you don't ever want to undervalue your sisterhood, right? You don't ever want to undervalue what you do and who you are to your synagogue, to your community. So that is something to think about with your dues as well. Don't be afraid of putting a value on who you are, and then market yourselves. That has to go along with letting your synagogue, letting your clergy, letting the temple board, letting your community know who you are and all the things you do for that temple. Would they have had events if it hadn't been for your sisterhood?
Right. No, I think we are. Yes. Thank you. I just think that I really like the way you presented the different types that are not on your sisterhood list. I don't know, maybe it's a silly question. Where do you meet them? I mean, you know the people that are close to you. These are.
So the first thing I would do is talk
people
to
that you don't see them often.
Right. So the first thing I would do is ask your temple office, your synagogue office.
And you can.
No, I have that. No,
I
that's not the
lost
point.
you.
Of course.
There she is.
Lost
She's coming
you.
back.
That was a little freaky. Is everybody back? Can you hear me and see me? That was bizarre.
You left.
I went away and you went away. Sorry about that. Okay, so back to it. So the first thing I would do is I would ask your synagogue office for a list
I
of,
do have the list. Stacy, I do have the list.
okay, so
You're
you
very-
have, okay, good. So
it's
that's,
not-
okay,
we
good. So that's a
have the
great
list.
start. Okay, so you have the list of everybody in your synagogue. I would pass
course.
around that list to your sisters and first of all, find out who knows who, because I can guarantee it, you may not know everybody, but I can guarantee you that they know some people. And